Caring too much about others' thoughts. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. We've had some weird episodes lately. This is another one. So this is confession time. Okay, I'm gonna tell you the secret of one of my worst vices that I've had most of my life. And the reason why I'm going to go through this is, for one, it gives you a chance to get to know me better. Number two, I'd love to find out from you what your worst vice is that you'd be willing to admit here on the internet. And three, I think that if you have anything similar and can see it about yourself, that your life can only get better by noticing it, by just watching it and not seeing it as something that should be normal. So here's the issue that I've had most of my life. Most of my life, I have been worried too much about what other people think, and specifically what they think of me. And if you go back in time and you look at the string of my life, I was always drawn to things that appeared to allow people to like me more. Okay, so it's a really weird thing. I'm not going to go deep into the psychology of why that is and everything else, but so very early on, I realized I really liked acting, and specifically comedic acting, and I wanted to do that. I mean, very, very, very young, probably second, third grade, I decided that was what I was going for. And it was my main focus for the next 10 years or so of my life. Or longer. I mean, it was quite a while before that dropped off. But that was what I was going to do. And there were other things that I would get pulled this way or that on, but that never went away early on. It was always the major focus, whether I voiced it to others or not. That was always what I was into. And a whole lot of that came from this insecurity of wanting other people to like me, because I really liked people like Bill Cosby. You know, I'm talking about the 80s and the early 90s. Bill Cosby and these comedians that were just flawless on the outside from what you could tell. And everybody liked them and everybody laughed at them. And it was a very interesting circumstance that I got caught up in, and I kept going with that idea over and over again. Eventually I saw that it was an issue, and I stepped away from that whole acting bit and all the entertainment stuff. I walked away from that. Always fell back into some form of entertainment in the business world that I fell into. But of course, where it ends up taking me to a world of marketing eventually, of all things. I don't think the irony isn't lost on me. Marketing is the science of getting into other people's thoughts and trying to understand them and convince them to think otherwise, or to convince them to think toward you or your product and so forth. And so it's really funny that I ended up in that place for a long time. And it's something that I've seen about myself over and over and over again. The things that I was really drawn to were those things that allowed me to act without worry about what people thought of me. And the better I've gotten at those things over time, the less that part of me has held on. Because it's a horrible situation. If you're worried about what people think about you, you're putting your life in the control of other people. And they don't want it. Most people just don't even want that control, especially the ones you want to like you the most. I think about the teachers, usually authority figures, the teachers, the people I've looked up to, the clients that I've had, employers and so forth. There are all these ones. It was always the one that the one or ones that I couldn't connect with, that I wanted their approval the most. I wanted to get along with them. I wanted to break through that. And it's still there to a certain extent in me. And I caught it, and it's something I just got to keep my eye on, because it's not good. It destroys your life. It destroys all your creativity. It keeps you from doing the things that most of us probably should be doing, that are a little bit more gutsy, that'll put you out there, may put you in a light that you don't want to be put in. But and some of that is just fear that holds you down based on those ideas. So it's one of those things I'm watching. It's still there to a certain extent in me, and I had to confess it to you, for those of you watching and listening, just because I think the more light I put on it, the more likely it will go away. So a little piece of deep Brian history there for you, as if you were even interested. But have you had issues with that in your life? I'd love to find out. Leave a comment down below, or if you know people who have, or if you know people whose lives have been ruined because they've been trying to seek approval from others. Leave a comment down below wherever you're watching or listening to this, or go to brianjpombo.com. I have a book, 9 Ways to Amazon Proof Your Business. It's not going to be my only book. I'm writing 2 others right now at least, and we'll be coming out with that soon this year. But for right now, you can still get a free copy of Amazon Proof of 8 Ways to Amazon Proof Your Business is the title of the book. You can get it at amazonproofbook.com. That's all I have for tonight. You have a good one. We'll be back tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.